of the Queensland Writers Centre. So I've been in the role for coming on to 3 years. And my position here is about Queensland writers and writing in general. How do we progress things for our writers? How do we find them homes? And how do we find them suitable homes for their materials? And actually just to encourage the act of creating through the written word. So I think it's a pretty important role, and I've been loving it and enjoying it. And I'm really looking forward to the event. Yes, I do, and I write under a pseudonym, which I keep perfectly quiet and very separate from my day job, because too many people, once I leave the role, I'll be happy to share. So I think we had a really couple of good strong years, especially with one of our programs, which is called Writing Friday. You can see a bit of a backdrop here for that. And we put 3,000 bums down on seats last year. And then coming into this year for COVID, we were just nailing it. We had 13 different libraries throughout the state, and it was really fantastic work. We have to rethink how we're going to do that, because one of the reasons that Writing Friday worked is writers had a place to connect, or they continued to work on their own pieces. So we have to figure out a solution for that. We were prepared, we weren't prepared for a pandemic, but we were prepared with live streaming already, and we can see that that's really worked well this year, and in particular with getting bigger names from interstate without the costs, and also being able to work with our regional and rural communities. And there's a lot of great writers in that space, and they're important to us that they have full access. I think at first there was still a reluctance, and then when it was just going to keep going on, people were like, oh, I'm going to just have to figure it out. And you know, now we have a lot of different aged demographic people who like come in and do the workshops and chat in the box. That's its own little community, the chat box. Well, I still think it's an important event for all writers to attend to, because I think so many people think, I've written my book, we're done now. And they need to really understand that full length of the train of what happens when you go to an indie publisher or a trad publisher, what happens with the booksellers, why the libraries are important, you know, that entire train that happens post just the written bit. So I'd probably be talking about that grassroots connection that is really important to support writers while they go through any long-term process like writing, or like getting published, or finding your audience, all those things that take far longer than you would imagine. Why a grassroots organisation like the Queensland Writers Centre is critical to that, because we're there, we can offer support, we can offer group, we can offer community, you finding your tribe, and that's pretty important as you're going through those other steps. Yes, we can give advice. Yes, we can help you, look at deals and things like that. But the most important thing that we do is foster the writing and foster your community that supports you while you write. And that's, you know, every other art form has a nurturing base, and yet writers are like, go forth and write on your own. It's not hope for the best. Yeah, you know. So I think having organisations like the Writers Centres, they're really critical to that development work. Also, I think what they'll get out of it, and they should, writers who are going to attend this, or other people who are attending this event, give yourself the goal of meeting 3 people you don't know. Like, walk up, say hello, say g'day, introduce yourself, and explain why you're there to them, because then you just grew. You grew just a little bit at that event, and that's the hardest thing, is to get yourself out there to meet people. But that's what these face-to-face events are for. All right. You too. Thank you.